Hello, Health Science 3052 students. My name is Professor Van Dyke, and I will be your guide to principles of environmental health. Now, I know a lot of you are not environmental health science students, so this course is designed to give you an overview of environmental health. And I've been teaching this course for over 5 years and have taught it online once before, of course, the last quarter that we had last year. I did have good success with this course. My students did very well, so I'm looking forward to a great quarter, a great semester with some fantastic students. Okay, so I am not doing Zoom meetings. I need you to understand that I'm not doing Zoom. Okay, it's been unsuccessful. It crashed yesterday. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to be recording short videos for you, and I'm going to be posting those to YouTube, so you can view them at any time. I'm going to give you two videos today. One is going to be the video for the introduction for the syllabus, and the second video is going to be the first PowerPoint. I'm going to hit the high points of those PowerPoints to really get you to focus on what's important, but I need you to read those PowerPoints as well. So that's going to be kind of the body of the course. There are a couple of things you need to do to be successful in this course. The first thing is you need to watch the announcements on Blackboard. This is where I'm going to communicate with you. This is where I'm going to send you the links to the video. You have to watch the announcements, okay? You have to read them. You will not do well in this course if you do not read the announcements on a regular basis. Second, you have to read the PowerPoints. I make them very simple, very straightforward. If you follow the PowerPoints, you will pass the exams. If you don't read the PowerPoints, you're going to struggle. Okay, and then finally, watch the videos. I'm making these videos for you. I'll make them as short as possible, but the reason I make the videos is so that you can get a little bit more information on the PowerPoints. I do answer questions throughout the week over email at william.vandyke@csusb.edu. That is my email that is also posted on the syllabus. It's william@csusb.edu. So email me all your questions, and this is primarily how we're going to be able to communicate. You can send me emails at any time. Now, the nice thing for this is you don't have to be in class or online Tuesday and Thursday between 2:30 and 3:45. You can view these at any time during the week. You can refer back to them. You can do anything you need to with the videos, with the syllabus, with the course materials, and all those things will be made available to you, and you'll be able to utilize them at any point. But certainly, I will post the video links to YouTube when we finish each one of those. So keep that in mind. This is how you're going to do well with the course. So with the syllabus, I'm not going to go over this word for word, but I'll hit the high points for you and go ahead and post this video. So 3052, Principles of Environmental Health. This is an online course. The mission statement of Cal State San Bernardino is to make you wonderful employees, make you great managers, make you leaders in your field when you go out into your careers. And that's certainly something that we want to do. So keep that in mind. The course description, we're going to be covering a variety of environmental health topics, including air quality, water quality, solid waste management, hazardous waste management, and lots of fun stuff in between. But as you know, if you've talked to anybody who takes my course, one of the things I stress very heavily is risk assessment. So you will see risk assessment more than once. It is going to, it's going to be a part of your first exam. It's something that I really want you to know very well. It's a critical piece for me that you understand risk assessment. So that's really the course goals. Student learning outcomes, we really want you to be analytical and be able to determine risk assessment, risk communication. Course learning outcomes, you can read all of those, but you're going to really be able to get a feel for that with the PowerPoints. The textbook, you don't need the textbook. You can do very well in this course just by following my PowerPoints, so keep that in mind. Don't waste your time with a cumbersome textbook. Focus on what I'm teaching you, and it will really be what's going to help you along the most. Now, that being said, if you want additional information, let me know. If I cover a specific topic and you want to learn more, talk to me, communicate with me. If you want, I can do Zoom meetings, I can do FaceTime, I can do Skype, so we can have individual conversations about additional information that you may be seeking in this course. So with course evaluation, you have 2 midterms, you have a final exam, you have a special assignment, which I will explain later in this video, which is consisting of a paper and a presentation of some form, and I'll talk about that briefly as well. Percentage for scoring is pretty straightforward. Academic honesty, obviously we don't want you to cheat, so I'm going to run your papers through a plagiarism checker. I encourage you to do the same just to protect yourself. Academic dishonesty, obviously you're not going to be able to cheat in this course, and you shouldn't have to. It's going to be a pretty straightforward, fairly easy course for you to do very well in this course. Commitment to diversity. Cal State is one of the most diverse campuses. We're very fortunate with that. Students with disabilities, if you do have a disability, please contact Students with Disability Services at 909-537-5238. They will be able to assist you. But again, don't do this the week before the first midterm, and give me some time to prepare. If you need accommodations based on a disability, please contact me, but most importantly, contact Students with Disabilities so that they are aware of any disabilities that you might have. Student conduct, I obviously want your participation, and with an online course, I'm really hoping for that. Withdrawal, I can't tell if you're not coming to the classes, so make sure and withdraw if you choose to drop the class. Technology, you have to have access to a computer that has access to Blackboard. You have to follow the announcements on Blackboard. You have to read my PowerPoints, and I do encourage you to watch the videos as well. If I don't get much participation with people watching the videos, I may discontinue them, but in general, I like to do the videos, and I think they're helpful to the students. Cal State email, you can reach me through Cal State email at william.vandyke@csusb.edu. The course workload, I know that generally we say that you're going to be putting in a 40-50 hour week for courses. There is no way you're going to be putting that much time into this class, so I'm not asking you for much. So participate in the fashions that I ask, and follow along. Okay, when I taught this course last quarter, I had a lot of people asking me questions that I had already covered in my announcements, which are very short, very brief, things that are typed up for you. I had a lot of people asking me questions that were directly off of my videos. If you ask me a question that I've already talked about in an announcement, I will write your name down, and at that point I will not write a letter of recommendation for you, because if you can't read 5 or 6 sentences that I posted for you, I can't, in good conscience, I cannot write a letter of recommendation for you. So keep that in mind. If you don't follow the letters, if you don't follow the announcements that I post on Blackboard, I mean, that's just laziness, okay? And I don't expect that from my students. I expect you to be strong. I expect you to do a really good job. You're going to do well in this class, but if I type something into an announcement, which is usually very short, and you don't read it and you ask me a question that's from that, most common question that I get is, what is, is our exam today? Or is our exam really, on this day? And I will always tell you when they're going to be on those announcements. So keep that in mind. If you're not following along with the announcements, then you will do less well in the course, and you will also lose the ability to gain a letter of recommendation. There are no late assignments. There is no late makeup work. If you miss an examination, you will not be able to do the multiple choice exam, which is going to be online on Blackboard. I make them fairly easy. The exams are pretty straightforward, so do not miss them. Make sure that you can do the exams on the dates that I will tell you. If you do miss the exam, your only option is to write a very lengthy, very painful paper. So don't do that. Make sure that you're here online to take the exam. I normally post the exams fairly early in the day and leave them open throughout the day. So I give you plenty of time to do the exam, and make sure that you take your time and do well on that. Required course content. You can find that in regard to the subject matter on the class schedule. So you'll notice that for week 1, which we're currently in, I'm covering the introduction, syllabus, and university policies, and then I'm going to do a second video that's going to cover environmental agencies, policies, laws, regulations, and you'll be able to follow along with those fairly easily. And then the following week, which is week 2, which is the number that's going to be a little bit higher, is going to cover terminology and ecological principles, population dynamics, growth and control. That will be week 2, and you'll see the numbers in parentheses. 1, 2, 3. Those are the chapters in the book. And again, I don't need you to buy the book, but if you do buy the book, you will be following along with those chapter numbers. But again, you do not need those to do well in the course. Okay, so that's the class schedule. I do reserve the right to make subtle changes to it if need be, but certainly it should be pretty straightforward. Now I'm going to cover your paper and presentation, which is your special assignment. Your special assignment is going to be equal parts paper and presentation. Special assignment is worth 40 points, which is going to be 20 points for your written paper, 20 points for your presentation. And obviously you can't do an in-class presentation, and again, we're not doing Zoom. So what you're going to do is you're going to write a paper on a peer-reviewed journal article. Make sure that this paper is on a peer-reviewed journal article that covers something in regard to environmental health. I want it to be interesting to you, so you can write something about MRSA in a hospital setting. You can write about plastic in the ocean. You can write about any variety of things as long as there's an environmental health component to it. But it has to be on a peer-reviewed journal article. If you don't understand what this means, ask me. Make sure and ask me so that I can explain it to you. But again, the paper should be 3 pages in length, no less than 3 pages in length. It has to be at least 3 pages. That doesn't include a title page or a reference page if you choose to use one. Okay, you don't need one for this paper, but if you do one, don't count that towards the page count. If you do a summary at the start of the paper, make sure that the full paper is over 3 pages. You don't need to do an introduction of that form, but again, a 3-page paper that summarizes the article that you read. Okay, you can bring in other articles if you choose to, but make sure your paper is at least 3 written pages. Okay, so your presentation should be a 5-minute presentation. You can do this in a number of ways. You can do a PowerPoint with voiceover. You can do a video just like I'm doing right now on my iPhone. You can do any fashion that you like. I know Powtoons is very creative, but Powtoons has a feature that only allows you to make about 3-minute videos, so that's really not long enough. If you do a Powtoon video and it's 3 minutes long, it better be extraordinary, okay? So keep that in mind. I like creativity, and I will encourage you to be creative on this, but do what works best for you. If you learn a new, like if you've never used voiceover on PowerPoint, consider this a great learning opportunity for you to learn and be able to master something that may have been unfamiliar with you before. So keep that in mind, okay? The paper, 3 pages, no less. Has to be at least 3 pages. And your video should be 5 minutes on your topic that you will have learned about and that you will be presenting to me, and then I may share those with the class. If I really like it, I may share it, but I will always ask for your permission first. So keep that in mind. The syllabus is pretty straightforward. If you have questions, let me know. But again, you have got to follow the announcements on Blackboard. Follow them, read them. They're not going to be long. I will be posting the links for YouTube for the videos on the announcements section of Blackboard. But again, all the PowerPoints are already up there, so you can start reading them. You can get familiar with them. Ask me the questions that you have, and let's have a wonderful semester. I look forward to your communication, which is primarily going to be over email. Okay, if you need special accommodations and you want to talk to me, we can work that out as well. But email is the best way to get a hold of me, so keep that in mind. So this is the first video for Health Science 3052, and this covered the syllabus. I will be posting another video for you later in the day today, which is going to cover the materials for the first lecture, which is going to be on environmental agencies, policies, laws, and regulations. Okay, so this is a portion of the first PowerPoint, and then terminology and ecological principles is going to be something that we will cover at the start of week 2, and that's also included on your first PowerPoint. So first PowerPoint's really long. We're not going to get through the whole thing today, so keep that in mind. And with that, I look forward to a great semester. So email me your questions and let me know your concerns. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Look for the link for video 2 as well. And make sure and watch both those videos before the end of week 1. Okay? So with that, I'll sign off.